Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And now it's a beautiful day. It's been cloudy all day, but here we are. Now the sun is out there, as you can see. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome to my YouTube channel. And I just met a whole bunch of people. So if you just met me, thank you. It was great meeting all of you today. And thank you for all of those out there who helped Starlight along the way tonight. And also, you could find me on my YouTube channel, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy, swing by and say hi to Starlight by leaving Starlight a comment down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist and share my videos with your family or friends, a squirrel, a chipmunk. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, if any of you would like to send Starlight extra love, you can, and I'll have my Cash App information here. And thank you, all of you who are out there helping Starlight by sending love and support. It was great talking with a lot of you today in the last few hours, so great meeting you all. And also, thank you for all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight even before I started YouTube. Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for all of you that have been joined with me from the beginning or in the middle or even just recently. Thank you all. Thank you for watching my videos, subscribing to my YouTube channel, leaving me a message down below, or even sharing my videos. So today it's about, are you? Yeah, you. This is a huge problem. Are you a people pleaser? Nah. Starlight used to be. I used to be a big ass kisser. Yeah, but was I kissing ass? Yeah, not really. I wasn't kissing ass, but I was always thinking about others before myself. And I don't know where I was taught that. I guess somehow or another I was confused in school by being taught, like when you write, you're supposed to always put the person's name before you say yourself, as to always put others before yourself. But somehow or another, even when I went to church, that is where I really was always putting other people before myself. And so there's a lot of people pleasers out there, and the problem is that you always end up dry. You always end up empty when you, and your energy will be drained when you're always thinking about others before yourself. So this video is to help people who are always people pleasing, and you forget about you. And then you could be people pleasing so much that now you're complaining about, oh yeah, I helped this person out, I helped that person out, and hey, I'm sorry I can't get with you now because I gotta be here for this person and that person. But where's your time? What I learned on this journey is, God first, and you gotta please yourself. You gotta please yourself. So make sure you take time out with yourself. And so I am sorry, there's some noise coming up here. So anyway, I love you, and you gotta make sure, take care of your needs. And if there's people out there in your reality that don't respect you, is that you need to make sure that you make space for you first. Is like when you get out of work for the weekend, don't say yes to everybody. Even at your job place, don't say yes to everybody. You want to work on the weekend, don't say yes when it's a no to yourself. And I was doing it all the time at work, with family. Hey, are you going to come over the weekend? I was afraid to say no, because then they're going to say, why not? Then they're going to, then it's like, and then I will say this, and then they would say that, and then I say this, and it would have been a, what I've learned, you gotta, what, you don't always have to explain yourself to people, but say no. Because if you explain yourself, then, people will try to put a guilt trip on you. That happened many times, oh, you don't love me because, I need, or they, people set me up and I didn't even know it. that they would, act like they needed me just to get my attention, to make me feel bad for them. So that, hey, when you coming over this weekend? And it was a guilt trip kind of thing that I was being put on a lot is, hey, when are you, when are you going to come over? And it's a lot of times, I didn't realize it for the longest time. It was because they needed something. They wanted something. They knew if they could get me, they couldn't get anything through my phone. They knew they had to get me from Albany, New York to their house, which was an hour drive. They didn't, think about the gas money or, anything going on with my car. It was like, and if I didn't show up, then they would make me feel bad because they didn't really have anybody there. But it wasn't my fault why they didn't have anybody there, So, and then if I just went to their house, they got me in the door. Now it's like, hey, I need something. I need something from you now. Do you got any money? My dog's running out of food, and different things like that will go on where, oh, now, they put me on a guilt trip. And so I had to learn the hard way with family or friends is, I avoided people like the plague when it came to the end of the month. I knew people that, that's when they got they got their government money in the beginning of the month, all their food stamps and cash or whatever. At the end of the month, then I actually said, gee, I would like to visit visit this person, but wait a minute, what time of the month is it? Oh, I can't go right now, So I had to learn ahead of time is Starlight, make plans, like in the beginning of the week, make plans for the weekend. That way, when they ask you or call you up like the day before, the weekend, hey, are you coming over this weekend? Hey, when you coming over next time? Oh, sorry, but Starlight's got plans. I'm going out in the woods somewhere. Get lost. I'm going to go out in the woods somewhere. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go out in the woods somewhere and enjoy God, enjoy nature. And that's, so whatever I did, tell them that's exactly where I was, because I don't want to lie to them, right? So you got to be quick. If you know that somebody is just using you or taking advantage of you, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go run to them. They will have all kinds of excuses. They have all these sad stories of why you got to be there, and people will have all kinds of stuff to make you feel guilty. And if you're that person like Starlight was, that always feels guilty that, oh my, he's going to die if I'm not there. No, they're not going to die. Believe me, they're not going to die. Something will happen, or they will learn their lesson, because there's people that I knew that, they were wasting their money, and they could have had money, but they were like, hey, I'll spend all my money because I know I can count on Starlight, and then it's like, put a guilt trip on you. So you gotta toughen up. That's what this is. And it's not easy. It goes against every grain of me to be like that, but you have to be like that, is unless you want to get used. You want somebody to always, like put you before yourself. So it's God first, then you. And I just talked to a beautiful man at the today, talking to him and letting him know, like, things got to be done in an order. God first, then you. It's not your family first, then you. It's God first, then you. Then if you got loved ones, then you can take care of their needs. But if you got to take care of your needs first. Stop putting yourself on the back burner. Stop telling yourself, another time. You need to take care of yourself, especially if you're out there working. You're gonna take your whole weekend, to family and friends, and the more you do, the more they want. So you gotta really say, you know what, I got plans this weekend. And make sure, you come up with a plan. Say, hey, do that in the beginning of the week. You want to make plans? Say, hey, sorry, but I got plans. Too bad. There's times helping people is not helping them. If they're not doing anything to help anybody else out, but they're only there for a handout. Now, I'm out here helping people out. I've been talking to people for a couple hours right now, on and off with different people, helping them out by wisdom and knowledge and guide, inspiring them. This is something that God is using me out here, but you gotta take care of your needs first, God first, then you. So And you can teach that to your children. Don't just do it for yourself, but teach it to your children. Teach them at a young age is God first, then you, then your closest ones. So, because this is the thing, is that we keep on repeating the same shit in reality. We keep on repeating the same mistakes with our families and passing it on, and it's recycling all this negative stuff that is not helping the family out, and then it gets passed on to the grandkids, and it's, it just keeps on. So we got to stop it by teaching that to our kids. The things that I teach you, a lot of this you can teach to your kids. Teach your kids, about God first, then them. When they get on their own, they're going to hey, God first, now me, because, there's some people, they're all about themselves. I was in an area that I got off an exit, and I was amazed. I had to hurry up, get back in my car and get on the road, because I met a lady, and I love helping people out, but man, there's some people, man, it's gimme, 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 gimme. No, I was like, she wanted money, but Starlight's like, she looks like she does drugs. So I wouldn't give her money. But I had fruit and vegetables. Do you eat fruit and vegetables? Yeah, I'll so I opened up my truck, my back of the car, and I'm giving her fruit and vegetables, and man, she was looking at everything she wanted everything in the back of my, So that's what you got to watch out for. You know what? I'll give you fruit and vegetables. I'll give you this and that. But there is, there's a time that there's some people that it's great to feed people. If they're doing drugs, you really don't want to give people money for drugs. But if they need food, she already had chicken in her hands. Somebody already gave her Kentucky Fried Chicken. She had that in a box. And she, what? She's not grateful for even what they gave her. She wanted more and more and more and more. And that's why you got to be careful of those kind of people. There's people out there, they'll drain you. They're like leeches. Do you want leeches on you? They'll suck the life out of you. They'll take everything that you have, and they'll still not be happy. So, you can teach that to your children, is teach them God first, then them, then their closest ones. And then, when they raise up their children, is say, hey, this is how we need to do it, is we need to God first, then you. So don't be a people pleaser. And like even on my YouTube channel, there's people out there, they might send me messages and give me thumbs up when I say certain videos, but when shit hits the fan, when God's speaking, and now I'm talking about letting go of addictions and things that are tripping you up, well, now where did they go? Where did they go? If I'm talking pleasant and sweet, and just and this happens in the churches. There's pastors that get attacked sometime because they were really preaching God's word. God was dealing with some shit, but the people didn't want God. They don't want God. There's churches, they don't want God in the church. They say it. They have a title, for the church. They have a name for the church, but they don't really want God. They don't really want God to really do some cleanup in the church, right? So that is what you got to watch out. I'm not here to people please. If God puts a message on my heart and God uses me to say something, it's not me. It's there's people that don't want to let go of things, and they know it's tripping them up. They know it's taking a lot of their money. And so you got to be wise, and not to people please, and not to, be out there people pleasing with people. And if there's people that are only to take, is that you got to teach them a lesson. And, it's a give and take. It's not always about taking all the time. It's like I was just talking to a man for like more than 15 minutes. We were having an energy exchange. He helped me out, I helped him out. It was back and forth with energy exchange. So some people don't understand it. They only think it's about money. Here, I give you money, and so you really gotta really God first, then yourself. Stop pleasing, stop being a people pleaser by going out and running to people and helping them out when you really need rest. You need to take care of yourself. You got your house to take care of. There's things that family needs help. So if you neglect all your things that you're supposed to do, and then you run around and do all that, now you don't have time to take care of yourself. Now, how about the energy? Now you didn't even get enough sleep. You were running around the whole weekend for everyone else, and now Monday comes and now you're bushed, now you're tired, now you're drained because you didn't have God first, you didn't have yourself first. So stop being a people pleaser. Take time for yourself. I met a lot of people on this journey. I did meet a lady that's what she was doing. She was a people pleaser. She just cut, and it feels good going out and helping each other, but you gotta help yourself first. I love you so much. This is Starlight. You could give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you could leave me a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family, your friends, a dog, a cat, and you can check out my playlist, and you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So I used to be a people pleaser. If you think I'm a people pleaser, I'm no longer a people pleaser. Don't say a yes when it's a no to yourself. If you don't want to help them out, you don't have to. I actually help out family members. You don't want them to stay at your house? Tell them that. Don't beat around the bush. You don't have to feel bad about saying no. Learn to say no. Practice in the mirror and say no. And I've done this. I literally done this. I learned this from somebody. They actually told me to do this to other people, but I ended up using it to do that to them. I was like, no, I am saying no, because that's what it is to me. So anyway, I love you. This is Starlight and Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.